The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has sealed off a property belonging to the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories now. At number 10, Sokoto State Government has formed an ad hoc committee to address security challenges in the state. This was made known in a press statement released on Friday by Mohammed Bello, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, after a security meeting convened by the state government for stakeholders at the International Conference Center, Kasarawa, in Sokoto Metropolis. Bello said the committee will be headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar. He also said that the meeting was convened to discuss the challenging issue of marauders terrorizing some parts of the state and find lasting solutions to the problem. The meeting had in attendance former governors of the state Atahiru Dalhatu Bafarawa, Senator Aliyu Wamako, some former deputy governors, heads of all security operatives, and other stakeholders. At number 9, Rivers State Governor Nyasom Wike has signed into law bills on value-added tax collection and open grazing prohibition in the state. This was made known in a press statement released on Thursday. Speaking at the Government House in Port Harcourt shortly after signing the bills on Thursday, Wike maintained that the judgment of the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt had sufficiently addressed the illegality perpetrated by the Federal Inland Revenue Services on behalf of the federal government in the collection of VAT in states. Aside the Value-Added Tax Law No. 4 of 2021 and Open Rearing and Grazing Prohibition Law No. 5 of 2021, the Child's Rights Amendment Law No. 2 of 2021, the Residence Registration Agency Law No. 6 of 2021, and the Naming and Renaming of Infrastructure Law No. 3 of 2021 were signed by the Rivers State Governor. The signed bills were recently passed by the Rivers State House of Assembly. At number 8, the Nigerian government says companies like Dangote, BUA and Lafarge will not pay tax for constructing roads across the country. According to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, about 794 kilometers of roads had been prioritized for construction by eligible companies through Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme. Mohammed said 11 states covering the 6 geopolitical zones will benefit from the scheme based on Executive Order No. 7. The minister identified the companies that had taken advantage of the initiative as Dangote Industries, Unilever, Julius Berger, MTN, BUA Group of Companies, Access Bank, Transcorp, Lafarge, and GZI Industries. At number 7, Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and the former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson, met to promote peace and political stability in West African countries. Johnson disclosed this while speaking with journalists after her closed-door meeting with Jonathan in Abuja. The former Liberian president explained that the meeting was also to deepen already established initiatives to promote a smooth transmission of power within the West African region, which was demonstrated by Jonathan and herself when they handed over power in their respective countries. At number 6, gunmen ambushed and allegedly killed 5 farmers on their way to farm at Modakeke community, Osun State, on Friday morning. The incident was said to have happened around 7 a.m. when the farmers were heading to their farms along Toro Road in Modakeke. It was gathered that policemen in the state visited the scene to evacuate the corpse of the farmers. The Osun State Police spokesperson, Yemisi Opalola, said, "I heard some people were killed and the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olawole Olokode, has deployed more of our men to the scene." At number 5, the federal government has said that it will release repentant Boko Haram terrorists without charging them with any crimes. Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who stated this on Friday, added that the call to prosecute and kill the repentant terrorists rather than granting them amnesty was against global best practices. According to him, the Nigerian military has begun efforts to release the terrorists. Mohammed berated those alleging that the surrendered insurgents were not Boko Haram terrorists, saying, "What the military is doing is that when they surrender, they profile them to ensure that they are genuine and reintegrate them into the society." At number 4, President Muhammadu Buhari was at Yola, Adamawa State, to condole with the government and people of the state over the death of the state's former permanent secretary and an elder statesman, Ahmed Joda. Joda, who began his career as a journalist with the then Northern Broadcasting Corporation in Kaduna, died at the age of 91 at the Federal Medical Center, Yola, following a brief illness last Friday. Before his death, he had served as Buhari's transition chairman in 2015. Buhari's visit to Yola was disclosed by a presidential aide, Buhari Salau, who shared a video on Facebook showing Buhari alighting from a presidential jet. The president also visited the palace of Lamido of Adamawa, Muhammadu Aliyu Bakindo. At the airport to welcome the president was the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, his chief of staff, Professor Maxwell Gidado, and members of the State Executive Council. At number 3, Jumoke Oyeleke, the 14-year-old sachet water seller who was killed by a stray bullet allegedly shot by security operatives during the Yoruba Nation rally in Ojota, Lagos State, has been buried today. She was buried at the Atan Cemetery in Yaba. Recall that Oyeleke's body was found during the rally held at the Gani Faweyimi Park on July 3, 2021, after security operatives stormed the venue, firing tear gas canisters and shooting to disperse the Yoruba Nation agitators. The Lagos State government had charged a Yoruba Nation protester, Tajuddin Bakare, popularly referred to as Ogboni Chief, for the sachet water seller's death. The charge against Bakare was later withdrawn for lack of evidence. At number 2, President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Ishaq Oloyede as the Registrar and Chief Executive of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board for a second term of 5 years. Buhari also reappointed Professor Abubakar Rashid as the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission for another 5 years and Hamid Boboyi as the Executive Secretary of the Universal Basic Education Commission for a second term of 4 years. Also reappointed were Professor Ifoma Isugo Abanihe as Registrar and CEO of the National Business and Technical Examinations Board for a second term of 4 years, and Professor Promise Mebine as the Director and Chief Executive of the National Mathematical Center for an initial tenure of 5 years. The Director, Press and Public Affairs, Federal Ministry of Education, Ben Gong, disclosed this in a statement on Friday. Gong revealed that the appointments were recommended by the Minister of Education, Adamu. At number 1, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has sealed off a property belonging to the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Kwankwaso. A reliable source at the zonal office of the EFCC in Kano told reporters that the sealing off of the former governor's property in the state followed an ongoing investigation that linked the property to proceeds of corruption during his tenure in office from 2011 to 2015. The seized building is the hospital complex the former governor donated to the state government to serve as an isolation center during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, but later became a controversial issue as the state government said it was not aware of such a gesture from the former governor. Always remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay safe. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.